First, we will hear the performances of all 4 preludes, and then I'm going to share my ideas and understanding. We will start with the C major prelude from the Well-Tempered Clavier, Book 1. Next one is the C minor prelude. continue with the E major prelude from the third violin partita. At the end, G major prelude transposed in D major from the first cello suite. And now is the boring part. Most of the people will press stop and click on another video. But anyway, I want to show you some of my favorite performances of the well-tempered clavier. This is Undershift. I also quite like Friedrich Gouda. Of course, Glenn Gould. Not my favorite, but very interesting. And Landowska, which is essential. So I really wanted to find a way to play this C major prelude on guitar. Most of the people will obviously play it there. They will start the first position. Unfortunately, you can't cover the whole range of the prelude, and you cannot sustain the lowest two notes as they're written by Bach. So I thought about pizzicato, because you can play with very even sound, and it reminds me a little bit of the lute harpsichord, but slightly muted. It's very sweet, and I think it's quite an original sound. If you look at the urtext, you will see that the lowest two notes, the bass and the alto, are sustained, and they are growing by step down in small intervals, sustained intervals. So they need to be sustained. So that's what I've written. This is my transcription. You can order the PDF if you like it. So we have C, E, C, D, B, D, B, C, E. And then again he repeats C, E, but with different chords. C, D, B, D, B, C. Continues down. A, C, D, G, B. And he has arrived in G major, and then carries on. This is until the first half of the piece. G, B, F. And he is already octave lower here in the middle of the piece, exactly in the middle. Anyway, the piece starts in the upper register, very high. It's almost like you're looking a very high object somewhere in sky, or even thinking about a high idea of something extremely pure, joyful, warm, and just love. And the cadence is very simple. You have, starting with the tonic, then you have the second chord, D over C, and then the dominant, G7, 5, and back to 1. So you have 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1. Then he's continuing exploring. A minor, this F sharp. Introducing the F sharp leads us, we know that we are going to the G key, but not yet. 2, 5, 1. This time the cadence is in G major, so he has established, now we are in the dominant. Then he is continuing the journey, but this time with more dissonant notes, so he is going deeper. Well, diminished, D minor, another diminish, returning to C. Now this is very beautiful. This dissonant in the bass, you have to sustain it, you can't do this. So, then the, oh, now we have 2, 5, 1, but in C major. 2, 5, 1. But what's striking here is that we have absolutely the same cadence this time. This idea, the distant idea, is with us, very close. You can see it. So I've written here earth. This is just for me notes. So that could be heaven, but this time it's with us. Okay, so he's continuing. C7, diminished, and probably the most dissonant of all. This one. I quite like this B, C, and D, which finally leads us to the golden section. I would think that this bar 24 out of 35 is really, if you calculate the golden ratio, that's where the pedal G section starts. I really think this is something which is preparing us. So he repeats twice this cadence, first approaching it with the G7 dominant, so this is G7, and now it's very simple. You have tonic, G7 suspended for C suspension to the dominant G7, and now this time he will approach this cadence with even more dissonant chord. Diminished, and now again tonic, G7 suspended for resolving in G7, which finally leads us to what we have been waiting, the arrival of the lowest C. Because that middle section where we had the C major in the middle register, we were still not there. Now we heard the lowest C, so you have to retune the sixth string down to C. And what's very interesting for me, that in bar 34, this is one bar before the end, he is suddenly going back to the, this is reminiscent of the heaven here in bar 3, the upper register. Now we have so there is no clear separation at the end between the different dimensions, earth, skies, heaven. So you can think of this C. So we start with a very high C. Then this C has arrived down to the earth. You can think of the sun. And then finally the Father. And the last chord is with both C's together, both of them. I don't think it's wrong to look for symbols in Bach's music. After all, you can't detach it from his ideology and beliefs. And, well, let's see if Bach agrees with me. He's happy, and he probably liked my arrangement. Next one is the C minor prelude. Years ago I started playing it for fun, purely for technical reasons, as a technical exercise for motor movements. It's very good for coordination, for finger independence. It's just great, but it's a shame if you play it only for that reason, because the music is very deep, very emotional, and once you analyze it, you can find so many interesting, striking things. He starts with 4 bars establishing the C minor key, very dramatic 4 bars. So it's C tonic, F minor over C pedal bass, which is the 4th chord of the, and then you have diminished, but I call it a dominant function. I really think this is dominant function. You can think of this, you can think of G7 with flat 9, or even if you want to just think of this chord as diminished over C, I don't mind, but this is really dominant function. You have many preludes and works based on this harmony. The opening of the little prelude, tonic, C, over the bass pedal, and now at the end again you have the diminished going back to. So this is absolutely the same. You can even think of the C major prelude. Oh, this is the second really step of the scale, D minor, again dominant. Reminds me of these two, or even St. John's Passion just comes to my mind. Dominant, diminish over the pedal bass. Then the cross. Falling fields. In St. John's Passion, you know, all the violins, the strings are doing these parallel intervals there in thirds, sometimes in sixths. Same here you have in the prelude, in the opening. This is the text. You have the leading soprano voice. Let's say this is the leading melody, and you have the supporting lower C. This is the alto, and he writes everything as semiquavers in groups of 4. But in my transcription, I separated the first semiquaver from the others, so you can clearly see that this is a different voice. So the more important in the hierarchy, soprano, C, and then the supporting note in the alto. So yes. Okay. You have to sustain this top melody note in your mind. You can't sustain it on the instrument, so it should sound like. And then he continues with sequence, exploring more harmonies. Sequence. And now here we have chord which leads to the E flat major section. So these bars here are the E flat major section. This is the dominant, of course, B flat 7 over A, which leads us to more brighter key, the relative major key of C minor. Here you have to try to somehow show that this note in bar 6 resolves there. So if you look at the frames, C, D resolves in D, D in bar 7. Then again D, C resolves in A, C. So resolving. You can do this with dynamic, by the way. Now we can continue from bar 11. Now we are in the key of E major. This is very interesting place. Why? Because the top voice soprano is so close to the alto. It's basically chromatic. They're so close. So what you should do, or what I'm trying to do, is to separate slightly the A flat, the soprano, from the less important voices, which are the parallel tenths. We have, so slightly lay on the A flat. You can see which place I'm talking about here. These inner voices, you know, the separated semiquavers, they give harmony. They're not just salad there. They're very important too. So you have to play them clear. And then he finally arrives in the root position of the E flat major. Continue exploring. Leads to more dramatic climax line. This is I would say the first climax. So we have sustained DNF, the top two voices. C in the bass, but there's sustained. And finally, this resolves in C minor. It's bar 17 is very interesting harmonically. It's like two harmonies blended together. So we have the diminish over C bass, but also we have kind of C major chord there. Of course, this is just one can say that this is the F major melody. Now he's drawing our attention to the bass notes, because there is movement in the bass which we didn't observe before. It's the bass is on every, it's on the first and third beat of the bar. There is a movement on the first and third beat of the bar. C, D, A. Okay. So you have to show this when you play it. So maybe emphasize slightly the bass. And in bar 19, he changes the model. So before it was descending from the soprano to the alto. Now we have the opposite. We have alto, soprano, alto, soprano. It's very interesting. This tells me that the melody note, now we have to imagine it as if you sustain the notes, it's on the weak beat of the bar. So it's and then back to the first beat. And then he's going back to the high, low, high, low, high, low. This is the pedal G section. G. He's going to start building tension. And more. This is the most painful, unbearable, very unbearable. You see? And suddenly he reduces a little bit the texture. It's slightly lighter. Still G in the bass, pedal bass. These waves are calm before the storm. Now cut it suddenly. This is it says presto here in the next bar. Presto means sudden, okay? Not just very fast. Slightly faster, but sudden. So you have. This is the catharsis. This is the golden section here. I would say bar 28 out of 38. Yeah, approximately that's about. So he has been building this tension, and here everything is released. He's certainly not happy. In pain. Even more. So if he says here, I don't agree with this. No, I don't. And here, but why it has to be like that? Is extremely, he's suffering. Here, the whole passage is like a canon. Like a canon. He uses something like a canon technique, but let me explain. So this is the higher voice, which is then repeated just octave below, and then here the upper voice is, and then in the lower voice in the next bar, but slightly changed because he wants the ascending A natural, B natural, C. This is melodic, but then for the descending, natural. And then he continues with this canon-like technique. And then in bar 33 you have shorter phrases. Next bar is a variation of the previous bar, absolutely the same thing, but he actually he moves this F, E, D octave lower. F, E, D. That's how he creates a bass line. F, E, D, which has to lead us out of this terrible emotional condition. And it's very interesting because we're arriving on the C7. This is dominant chord, which leads us to the F minor over C bass, which tells us that the end will be plagal cadence with Picardy. How do we know? Okay, once I heard this E, I know for sure that will be plagal cadence with Picardy. This is a prediction of the Picardy. It's impossible to do it otherwise because the cadence is otherwise how would be once I hear the E, I know what's gonna come up. Now this bar, he writes adagio suddenly, very slow. It's this section is like the world around you is breaking. Cataclysms, but you can feel safe inside you. It's like an inner self section, this rhetoric section, because it's like a voice, it's like singing. By the way, the mordent, the ornament is longer mordent. It's not but it's because it's a crotchet which is sustained. It's with a tie. Therefore, I played slightly longer. It's like a prayer. It's like you are praying. And now, in bar 35, there should be really this note is lower. Do you see this bass? Should be octave lower, but we can't do this on guitar. I had to keep it there. I can't retune suddenly the 6th string down to C. just for one note. So I had to think of this as just sustained pedal from bar 34. And then chromatic. Still C. He repeats the C7, the dominant C. Again F minor C. The play go. And at the end, 4 notes, a tail. With the Picardy, very satisfying E natural at the end. So I think it works as a guitar arrangement. I'm not sure what Bach thinks. Let's see. Oh no, can you see? He doesn't like it. Please leave me a comment under the video. Just tell me what you think. Does it work on guitar or not? The next one is one of the most famous solo violin works by Bach. It's the Prelude from the third partita. You know, there are 3 sonatas and partitas by Bach. And many people think of this as one huge work, you know, a cycle. The first 4 are in minor keys, and the 4th one particularly ends very tragic, very dark, and this is the chaconne, of course. So probably this is one of the lowest point of this cycle, and after that the 5th is the sonata in C major. Starts like that. So suddenly we can feel that the light is coming back, the hope. And the last one, the partita 3, starts like that. This motif of, I would say, it has completely different character, and what's very interesting is that the piece starts with a rest. Okay, so it's not just a pickup bar, ta-ra-ra-ta-ta-ta-ta, but it's pa-ba-ra-pa-pa. So you can really feel the first beat of the bar. The rest is part of it, of the music. Rest is the quickening, becoming alive. Like you can think of resurrection. Let's have a look at the structure. Basically, the whole first page, really, it's in E major. It's just scales first, going by step, ascending and descending. And then we have in bar 17, finally, more vertical harmonies. So we have these 3 voices. The first time we hear this D natural, really it leads us just for a second into the A major, but we're not in the key of A major here, we're still in E. This is just a chromatic movement. Okay, and then we have suspension. 4 suspensions. that was bars 17 and 28. We're still in E, and the new motif comes. It's building blocks going by steps. So we have, this is E major, an inversion, but then here it becomes dominant. It's gonna lead us to A major, no, surprise, to C sharp. This is absolutely the same motif, but transposed in C sharp major. Root, first inversion, and then this is the dominant 7, which leads us to the F minor key, but only literally for 1 bar, and then he's going back more well established C sharp minor, and he remains there for quite a while. Now we have this motif. I have highlighted it. This really comes from the opening, but this is more underlined with just double slur, but it's really more prominent. I keep it on the same string. By the way, I like to play the violin score, not the lute version. I quite enjoy it without added bass notes. I think it works really well on guitar like that. The lowest note is G sharp, which is literally 4 half tones from the lowest E on guitar. So we have a good range. And at the end, in fact, I keep the lowest E for the end. So it works like that. Anyway, so then we have this sequence, the dominant to the C sharp minor again. This is diminished over C sharp, over G sharp, and then suspended, suspended 4, resolving. And again, we are in the key of C sharp minor, but he's presenting a different motif now, the third motif, important motif. Actually, the fourth. Let's see how many motifs we have so far. So the first one was, the second one we can say it was the sustained harmony. Then we had the building blocks going by step. That's the third motif. Then now we have this one, descending motif, which we'll see later in a different key. And now, just for a short moment, we are going to the B major, same motif, dominant to the A major. A major is a subdominant, so now we will stay in A major for a while. And what we have in bar 59, again the quickening motif, but this time in A major. And then you have this oh, we have another motif that we missed. So earlier in bar 13 we have the sustained E, and then well, same here in A. So as you can see, quite a few motifs already. and then basically this is just transposition of the first section, but in the key of A major. This is the sustained harmony progression, the chord progression. Suspension after suspension. And now we have the steps, the ascending steps motif. This time in the key of A major. A, root, first inversion, dominant 7, and then B minor. But he is actually developing this. He doesn't stop there. Now I play these 3 notes. Ba ba ba. I play them with the thumb. So I play. I play them with the thumb because I feel that this is like argument between 2 people. So this one is. I don't agree. I don't agree. Negative. No. And then again the same motif as before. Steps. Going by step. And now this is kind of a climax. The phrase is so you have to lay on this. Just don't emphasize. Just stay a little bit longer on the third note. So we have. And then he's staying a little bit in the key of F minor. So we have F sharp minor, C sharp dominant, F sharp minor, C sharp dominant, and then going back to the persistent motif. We had it before. Here I find very important the violin articulation, the bow markings. So I make sure that I play slurs there. Well established F sharp minor. And then the same thing but in E. And I love these 3 ascending scales. It's almost as like a very good artist, painter, first painting the first layer, for example the golden fields, then next layer it's just with one movement of the hand and the brush, then it's the green mountains, and then the sky, for example. I like to play this apoyando. And now in bar 119 you have something very interesting, recurrence of the main motif, the quickening motif, papatam, but I call this reversed echo effect. Look. This is like a trumpet. You have 3 times this trumpet, 4 times. signaling for something which is coming. It's signaling for the coming back of something. Okay, so you can say, he's coming, he's coming, which resolves in B. Now we have this descending motif that we had earlier in C sharp minor. But this time is in major. But this is the dominant key. We're in B major. We are not in E major. So we have not arrived there. We heard the trumpet, but we have not arrived there. So let's see. First we need to destroy everything and build the new, if you want, the new world. So first you have to destroy the old. And let's see, so it starts from top to bottom, everything, to the foundations. So that's B major, and then he's leading out of the B major through the A natural, and now we know that we will arrive back to the tonic E major, because we can't have A sharp in the E major. So really from the next bar starts the exit. So speed up a little bit. Still. And from here. And here. Almost there. Here. Going back to the beginning. This is the quickening motif in E. And then after that, the next 3 bars, nothing really happens. It's almost like saying okay, and they lived happily after that. It's just it's very interesting, this hemiola that occurs at the end. It's like a break. It just it stops us a little bit. It just so we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and I was waiting for this moment. So I added this B. This E is very important. Finally, to hear that God has arrived to the earth. And then quickly cut the last note. Do you see that there is a rest at the end? So Bach could write a crotchet, but he wrote quaver. You know, it could have been. But no. Same way as it started. Suddenly. Same way you have to finish. Okay, and there is a fermata. After it, you can wait as long as you want. Quite an interesting prelude. I think it works really well without the bass notes, but everyone has a different approach and different taste. We're already playing this prelude an octave lower, so there is a case to play it like that without bass. Of course, if I was playing this on organ, I could probably add some bass notes, but many people add bass notes and they think that they are Johann Sebastian Bach. I think that they're tikvas. Tikva in Bulgaria is pumpkin. Not much there. The golden spoon. Sorry, it's for the sponsors of the video. This is a golden spoon for musicians. Honey, every morning for breakfast I eat my honey with the golden spoon. And at the end, one of the most well-known preludes by Bach, the cello prelude from the first cello suite in G major, but usually played in the key of D major on guitar. And I like this key. The resonance is very close to the resonance of the cello when played in the key of G major. The lowest note is G natural, which means just 3 semitones from the lowest note on guitar. So I think that's fine. I don't think we need to add bass notes or change the octaves of some of the notes. It's 3-part harmony. It's very simple opening. The first 4 bars is just a perfect cadence, so toning, subdominant, dominant, 4, 5, 1 over D. D is the pedal. Of course, reminds us of the first 4 bars of the C major. Of course, there it's not 4, 5, 1, it's 2, 5, 1, but it's similar. And or this one, sheep may safely graze. Look, even the continuation is anyway, so it's 3-part harmony, and in bar 4 he uses this inner voice D, C, B to lead us out of the D major. We are now going to the B minor just for 1 bar, and through the D sharp, through the G sharp. In next bar, we know we are going towards the A major key. Then we have 2, 5, 1 cadence in A major, just to really establish the A major. So this is B minor, 5, 1. Really, we ended in A major. And now from bar 11 he starts exploring. Now I find the articulation, the phrasing marks in the cello score very important. So I pay attention to all these phrasing marks, and I have copied them in my score because they create a different, even sometimes different harmonic rhythm. They sometimes draw our attention to particular voice. Sometimes it's the middle voice, sometimes the top, sometimes the bottom. Also, Bach wants you to play a particular phrase with the right articulation. So we were in A major. Now from here we start exploring more keys. So we have diminished, going to E minor, then another diminisher. You can think of this as F sharp 7 dominant. It goes to B minor. Then we have a chord sequence which leads us back to D major. Now in the first chord, looking at the phrase, I see that Bach, so that's the chord C, G, A. Bach wants us to emphasize the middle voice. Do you see? It's not. No, it's. So it's ornamented, the middle voice is ornamented. And then the top voice is ornamented. Again. And this is again dominant to the D. And from bar 20, really, up to pretty much the end, we are alternating the A major tonal center and D major tonal center. It's very interesting. Nothing else. Look, through the G sharp, you know that G sharp leads us to A, but G natural leads us to D. So we have this G sharp, G natural all through the all bars after that. So we have time to stop and think, because you're kind of lost here. Where are we going? So we're looking for an exit. The first try is ascending scales of 8 notes. But now, G natural, we're going back to D. We're exploring. Second try. Third try. Hop. It's closed end. This is not the resolution. Very dissonant. This is not an exit. Again, G natural. We are going back to. This is dominant. We are in the key of D major, but here we have a dialogue between the bass and the sopranos. Okay. G sharp leads us back to A major. And now this is probably the most dissonant note in the whole piece. I really don't know what to do with this. Okay, here. What is the harmony? Well, dominant. E dominant to the A. But then again, G natural. So we are in D again. Only two chords, A, D, A, D. But here, I hear a suspension. Suspension is. So it's G 7 7 6 suspension. 7 6 7 6 7 6 7 6. 4 suspensions. So that's another looking for exit. So first time was ascending. This time the phrases are descending, the scales. So what I do in order to present this suspension very clearly, so I hold the note. And then we hear this almost like a spirit is calling you from a different dimension. And then echo. And then you can see the length of the phrase diminishing. So it's A, B, C, D, B, C, A, D. Getting shorter and shorter. This is echo effect. And then you follow this voice looking for the exit. Here I introduce the bass, the pedal bass, which really from before before the whole section could be thought as a pedal bass, but here I introduce the lower bass. So you can start slower here, because you're looking. Is it there? Is it there? You have reached this highest note, so you have seen from afar the exit. You know where it is. It's like you're lost. Once I was lost when I was a young boy. I was with my father fishing, and on the river, and then we separated. I went upstream, he went downstream, and then I got lost. So he was calling me, so I could hear his voice, but I was going through the bushes, you know, searching for him. And then it's like here, the highest note. You have seen him, and then you know which way you have to go. You have to go around. So you return. Prepare for the big jump. You have to go over the string. You have to jump over. So you have to accelerate. You jump. You are there. You are approaching him. Closer. You see this? Even closer. G is much closer. Wait, prepare the fermata. Bach writes fermata. So to prepare the fermata, you have to slow down, take a breath. And here I wrote the bass on the downbeat. That was a beat. Up, because I'm still searching. But after I reach the top note, I know what I have to do, so it's established. Bam, 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 bam. One last jump, long jump. You have to start slower, like the Olympic Games long jump. And so on. So here, perfect cadence, and then finally you embrace each other. Well, I'm sure there were other things I wanted to speak about, but I hope you found this interesting. Leave me a comment if you have some comments. You can order these arrangements on PDF from my website. I also have albums. I want to retire happily, so if you buy and support me, then that will obviously help me to produce a lot more music and videos. This video is free lesson. I don't call it masterclass. I'm not a master yet, but one day maybe. Thank you. By the way, I forgot, my name is Stanislav, but here in England they call me Stanislav. And also this wonderful instrument is actually a guitar by Kevin Aram, a present from this famous English luthier. It's an amazing instrument, he made it for me. I'm very grateful to Kevin, and I'm gonna make a lot of music on it. I will compose, arrange, and praise God.